150 years ago, the galaxy thrived with 127 known intelligent species, each contributing their own beauty, culture, and wisdom to the galactic community. They ranged from graceful and elegant beings to terrifying and powerful creatures, each with its own distinct voice. Today, only 56 species remain above endangered levels, and of those, one stands out above the rest, a species that would come to be feared like no other: humanity. Humans were the last species to join the galactic fold before the event known as the Calamity. Their arrival was met with curiosity, but they were notably reserved about their past. This was not uncommon. Many species, upon encountering the vastness of the galaxy, withdrew slightly, realizing just how small they were in the grander scheme of things. The Galactic Council respected their silence, never prying too deeply into their history. After all, humanity was already an impressive stellar empire, having developed in a remote and relatively empty part of the galaxy. It wasn't long before humans spread throughout the stars. They left their homeworld in droves, and within a decade, they could be found on nearly every planet. Their adaptability was remarkable, allowing them to live alongside any species in nearly any environment. Whether mining on the harsh planet of Salas 4, managing businesses on Prim, or exploring the colorful caves of Galoria, humans quickly became a common sight across the galaxy. They were natural explorers, diplomats, and traders, making fast friends wherever they went. Even with the more militaristic species like the Drumor and Lilagar, who respected their combat prowess, despite their widespread presence and integration, humans remained tight-lipped about their past. They eagerly studied the histories of other species, but rarely spoke of their own. When pressed, they would give vague answers, only referencing the rise of the Human Federation in the last few centuries, a union built from a once fractured species. Eventually, the galaxy stopped asking. Humans were an enigma, but they were peaceful and prosperous. So why dig deeper? Then, 48 years after their arrival, everything changed. A new threat emerged from a region of space long considered impassable, hidden behind dense nebulae and electromagnetic interference. The Grox arrived. The galaxy, at peace for over a millennium, was caught completely off guard. The militaries of even the most warlike species had been neglected, and the galaxy had grown complacent, focusing on commerce and diplomacy. The Grox, relentless and brutal, began their conquest with terrifying efficiency. For 2 years, the galactic community scrambled to defend itself, but by the time a proper resistance was organized, the Grox had already taken control of 30% of the galactic arm. The humans were everywhere: doctors, engineers, soldiers, admirals, fighting alongside the other species. But as the war dragged on, the weight of the conflict began to break the galaxy. After nearly 50 years of war, a human diplomat named Cheris Matoran appeared before the Galactic Council with an audacious proposal. Humanity should lead the war effort. The Council balked at the idea. While humans had proven themselves capable fighters, they had lost just as much, if not more, than anyone else. How could they possibly take control of a war on a galactic scale? But Cheris was resolute. Backed by her fellow human leaders, she insisted that humanity knew war better than any other species, and they were the galaxy's best hope. The debate raged for weeks. Some council members believed that the humans were trying to seize power, while others saw them as the only ones capable of turning the tide. Finally, in a fit of frustration, Cheris declared that she was no longer asking, she was demanding. Humanity, she said, would take control of the war, whether the council agreed or not. The council relented, and within a week, the humans launched a devastating counterattack. They reclaimed a sector that had eluded the galactic forces for months, using tactics that bordered on reckless insanity. They hurled nuclear weapons and light-speed missiles with abandon, tearing through the Grox forces with terrifying efficiency. The Grox, once unstoppable, were shattered. Over the next few months, the humans continued to push forward, reclaiming more and more territory. Their victories came at a cost. Each system they took was hard-fought, but the Grox paid a far steeper price. The rest of the galaxy, impressed by humanity's results, officially handed over control of the entire war effort. With humanity leading the combined fleets, the war's momentum shifted dramatically. But humanity's methods were brutal, far beyond anything the galaxy had seen before. Biological weapons, nanite swarms, and viral bombardments became their tools of war. They unleashed horrors on the Grox that no one could have imagined. Plagues that twisted the enemy's bodies, nanites that stripped entire fleets of their hulls, and even prisoners released onto enemy planets to sow chaos. Where conventional tactics failed, they resorted to nuclear annihilation, turning entire worlds into glass. The Grox, who had once seemed unstoppable, were driven back to the farthest corners of the galaxy. But as they retreated, humanity's methods grew ever darker. They accelerated particles to light speed, slamming them into planets and breaking them apart in seconds. Drone swarms, acting like locusts, tore apart ships and left worlds to starve. Planets that relied on imported food were sealed off, their populations left to descend into chaos and cannibalism. By the 7th year of humanity's leadership, they had learned how to collapse stars. In one of the most devastating moves of the war, they triggered a supernova in the real Fox system, home to 20 beautifully terraformed garden worlds. The resulting black hole consumed everything. This act of destruction was too much, even for the war-hardened Galactic Council, who finally condemned humanity's methods. But humanity's response was simple. This is war. In Va, there is only victory or death. Along with their message, the humans released their full history. For millennia, humanity had been at war with themselves, with each other, with their own governments. From the moment they left their homeworld, they had fought war after war, never stopping, never finding peace. In 800 years, they had waged 963 wars among themselves, often fighting multiple wars at once. Civil wars broke out even as governments fought off external invasions. Conflict, it seemed, was in their very nature. With the Grox finally defeated, the galaxy was left to recover from the unimaginable destruction. Humanity, having fulfilled their promise, stepped back. Their weapons of war were dismantled, their soldiers returned to civilian life, and the horrors they had unleashed were locked away in vaults or destroyed. But the galaxy would never forget what humanity was capable of, their unmatched capacity for war and the terrifying consequences of provoking them. Though humanity never threatened anyone again, they didn't need to. The galaxy had seen enough to know one undeniable truth. If you make war with humans, you are inviting annihilation.